Hello to all my fabulous thugs of royalty. Welcome back to the channel. If you are someone who has been here before, welcome to the channel. If you're somebody who's new, we are here to do our weekly recap of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. This episode was titled Flamingo on the Bluffs. This episode was truly the definition of the Hot Mess Express, and it was season 2, episode 7 for those who like to know all the things and don't like to read the description or the titles and all of those things. Anywho, I'm Mrs. Best. Let's get right on into it. You guys, normally we do have James here. He is the co-host. That is the gentleman that you see on the screen. However, James is dealing with something personal, so he is unable to make it to this live, but we support him. We love him. And I ask that all people who watch this channel, if you do pray for him. That's all you need to do. Anywho, moving right on along, we're going to get into the episode. Going across the bottom of your screen, you'll be able to see a little ticker that gives you information on how often our recaps happen, as well as ways to contact me to make suggestions, tips, donations, support us, and all of those things. So let's get into the episode. Last episode was a crazy summer storm, they titled it, because Summer was basically running amok through the house like a psychopath. She seems to be like drinking away her pain, or she gets really drunk and then she starts expressing all of her pain. Whatever or however people want to look at it, it's irresponsible. Like, you remember for the 90s kids when we used to grow up and see the Miller and Budweiser commercials, and at the end of them, or was the other one Sam Adams? And at the end of the commercial, drink responsibly. This is the example of not drinking responsibly. Every single thing that Miss Summer did is the example of not drinking responsibly. I'm not saying she has a problem or anything like that, but we'll discuss that a little further because Preston made some comments about Summer that I actually felt were accurate. And y'all know I cannot stand that man, but he said something that made sense, and I respect what makes sense. So Summer's tripping still at 4 o'clock in the morning, and now she's somehow crying to Jordan and to Jasmine, which is crazy because Jordan and Jasmine ain't even messing with each other the way that they used to mess with each other. And Jordan was just upset with Summer for talking and crying to Jasmine because she says that that's someone she's not on the best of terms with, which is wild because y'all were friends. So you know the Jasmine's harmless. She's pregnant, so she's harmless. Long story short, they try to help her. They're unable to help her because there's no reasoning with drunk people when they're emotional, in my personal opinion. But they all finally go to bed. They were up till like 5 o'clock in the morning with this girl in tears. Listen, if I'm up till 5 a.m. because I'm having a good time lit with my friend's husband, whoever I decide to be kicking it with, fine. But if we're up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning crying, going off, arguing, going to hospitals, you know, like, no, that's not fun for anybody. Basically, the next morning comes in, everybody's asleep because they're hungover. The next morning is basically when these people decide that they want to go to sleep. Nick is prepping to run a 5K. He likes marathons. Great. Like, I used to be a runner myself, but it's not, I just don't. Nick bores me, and then when he's not boring me, he's acting strangely. So I don't know, but he's prepping for his 5K. They don't really say much about that. I thought it was strange that he was prepping by himself, but everybody is hungover. And we see Summer is preparing for her apology tour. She immediately states that she feels regretful for acting a doggone fool while drinking alcohol all through the night. And this is now, we're 7 episodes in. And in every episode, these people drink and party and get drunk because they're only there for 14 days, right? But in every episode, Summer has gotten too drunk and done something. So it's getting to be a pattern. It's like, I know that there's an open bar, but like, relax. You can say no. Chase your alcohol with water, as my husband likes to say. Like, make better choices. So downstairs, Preston and Alex are talking, and they say that the excuses for the drunk behavior from the women in the house is a little old. They say that it seems like if people know that they become emotional when drinking, if people know that when they drink, they get mad about things, if people know when they drink, they get to tripping or it becomes not fun for other people, then stop ahead of time. Cut yourself off. Preston and Alex made that point. Normally, I don't care for either of them, but they were actually right to say that. Um, I also feel like that was the appropriate way. A lot of times on reality TV, these stars like to accuse each other of having alcohol and drug problems and things like that. When the reality of it is that not everybody does have an alcohol and drug problem, but there are a lot of people who think that because they are responsible enough to afford the liquor that that's as far as it goes. They just partake too much. So I like that they were, holding them accountable. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're halfway through the season and these women just been tripping all because of liquor. Moving on, and like the video if you have not already. And to the replay gang, I say hello. I know a lot of the people who watch this recap are on the East Coast. So for y'all, it's already like 10 o'clock over there. Hello to the replay gang, Thug Life, and thank you for watching. So Noelle and Summer, they are talking finally because Noelle and Summer were really seeming to have like an issue. Mind you, Noelle is supposed to be Summer's friend. That's how she's in the house and supposedly connected to the group. So Noelle says that she feels like Summer does not like her at times, but then she also feels like sometimes she do, but she feels like it's a back and forth, which I could kind of agree with. She hasn't really treated Noelle like a friend. And Summer pretty much tries to take accountability, but she says that she was angry with Bria, but she said that she also sees similarities between herself and Bria with how they handle their anger, with the snapping and all of that. I don't know. You're not taking accountability if you're like, I shouldn't have took out my anger on you, but I was mad at this person. Why are you taking your anger out on anybody? Nobody wants to deal with that. They just don't, especially if they don't share blood and aren't sleeping with you. Nobody wants to deal with that. It's the fact of life. So Noelle then asked Summer if she remembers pushing her, which we saw Summer push her and some flowers. Like, I hate people like that too. When you get drunk and start destroying property, because like, if you're at my property, I'm gonna have to put you out if you do that. And then my stuff gets destroyed. So it's like putting you out isn't gonna make it right. And then if I'm at somebody else's property, it's like, oh, then you gotta worry about getting put out of somewhere or having to pay for stuff. I don't like when people do that. But Summer was tripping and she didn't just put her hands on property, she put her hands on Noelle. And she claimed that she does not remember pushing Noelle, and she does apologize for that. And Noelle basically lets her know, it felt deeper and that she's going to need some space as she should. I think too often people forgive each other for acting a fool when drunk, but I always think drunken minds, sober thoughts, things of that nature for the most part. It's just a lot that Summer says. She'll like take things that people confide in her about and throw them in their face when she's drunk for like no apparent reason. And it's a little toxic. And I don't blame Noelle for taking a step back. Noelle's been a breath of fresh air on this show. And I don't see why she should have to deal with that. So, Noelle also states that this is because there's been multiple instances. We've seen her act weird with Alex, then this. So I think Noelle's done. And it's like, I'm going to film with you and be cordial with you because you gave me this opportunity. But after that, that's about it. If you know that your mouth gets reckless, your behavior gets reckless when you're drinking, and you know that that impacts people in a negative way, then correct it. Don't keep running a muck on people. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely insane to me. It makes no sense. So, moving on along, at the pool, Amir's girlfriend, whose name is Natalie, tells Jordan and Donald what happened between Bria and Summer. She says stuff that, in my opinion, she really probably shouldn't have said. If I am the girlfriend at an event full of people, I'm not gonna intervene or involve myself with their drama. That's just stupid. Why are you gossiping to these people about their household? And then we heard her saying that like the behavior of everybody last night is just not her style, but it's your style to gossip and to get in the business of these people that you don't know, that you're supposedly supposed to be jealous of because she supposedly has a problem with Jordan for whatever reason. I'm just like, the girlfriend, hi, Naya. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I don't understand why the girlfriend was in their business though. I'm like, why are you gossiping? Just sit at the pool, be pretty, go find your man, have him make you a drink, chill, be fine. But don't get involved in their business. Please stay out them people's drama. So we did see Nick come back, you guys, from his little 5K run because Nick likes to run and do marathons, which I could tell he has a runner's body. And he's asking for help for his event. He's putting on a Lux on the Bluffs event where I guess everybody's supposed to dress up and his girlfriend Tasia's coming out and all of these different types of things. It's supposed to be a nice event and obviously bougie because Nick is bougie in his own little brain. And Bria says, oh, let's catch the comment. Naya said, the girlfriend, yeah, she's messy, here for the show and drama only. Don't care about Amir at all. Right. Naya, I don't feel like Natalie, I believe that's her name. I don't feel like she likes him. Every time he leans in to kiss her or anything, she just seems really annoyed. She just seems really, really annoyed. I don't feel like they're compatible at all. But I'm like, why are you in the drama? That's her trying to be on this show. I'm like, I think Amir's being used and he does seem like the kind of guy who would be easy to play. Just saying. So I definitely agree. She said real stank face. She always makes a stank face. When your man kisses you, why are you making a stank face? Why do you look annoyed that he's checking on you? Who's annoyed at that? Like, honey, are you all right? And she's looking at him, rolls her eyes. Yeah. Like, dang, you don't like the man? Well, it's fine. Natalie got to sleep with him. Nobody else wants Amir, though, Natalie. I promise you. Nobody wants him but you. Moving on. Nick has the people helping with the event. Bria doesn't want to help with anything. He tries to call a house meeting because his girlfriend's coming. And the last time Nick's girlfriend came, the cast lit his ass up, as they should have, because he was acting like he was single, flirting with the girls in the DMs of people. And then he comes out of it and he's like, I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. Hi, Jen Bunny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. James sends his love, you guys. He has a personal thing that he has to deal with. We will send positivity and lots of prayers and love his way. He will be back, though, I believe next week. And she said he's fully into it. Like, yes, dear. Sure, my love. Anything, babe. Just name it. Yeah, that Naya, that type, aka he is simp. Listen, you can be nice to your partner. You can cater to your partner. I feel like I'm pretty spoiled by Mr. Best, but I don't need you to be like panting like a puppy over me. Like he just Amir seemed like he'll fall in love with anybody though. That's just how I feel about him. Like whatever girlfriend he has, I feel like he's gonna act the same with every girl, if that makes any sense. Y'all, she said his box head ass. I've been trying to get through. Y'all cut up in the comments. I love it. I'm here for it. And Thug Life. She said, "Old box head having." I don't blame Natalie though for being annoyed though. Amir would annoy me because the way that he gives affection is like smother. She said Amir equals Drake, square, corny, trying to be something he's not. That's the actually, Jen. That's the perfect way to explain Amir. And I want everyone to remember this comment. It is legendary. She said equals Drake. That was the best way to explain him, especially during this time with a little who uses AI for a rap beef? Write your own rap, bro. Moving on. Moving on. Bria's mad. She doesn't want to do a meeting. She said to Nick, and she had a nasty attitude. Bria said, just give me my assignment. Tell me what you need me to do. I'm not sitting through a meeting for this. I said, girl, Bria, why are you talking to that man like that? What is wrong with her? And she goes, nobody helped me when I had my event. I love how petty the cameramen are. They show the men helping Bria in the little clip. and they put the men not helping her as they're like literally putting together a whole soundboard, a whole stage, all this crazy stuff for Bria. And Bria's like, nobody helped me. I said, Bria, I don't understand. So then Bria says that Simon is upset and being a butthole because he's upset that he cannot stay for the whole time at the house. He's mad that he only has to stay for a short time. So I'm like, so you're taking your anger out on everybody else just because your man is mad that he can't stay the whole time? Listen, Naya said this part annoyed me. It annoyed the crap out of me too. And Jen, you're right. Bria is definitely exhausting. And she makes us Geminis look bad. Like we are crazy and we are difficult, y'all. But Bria's just like the messy, the Gemini that really is messy. Like, how you go tell these people they didn't help you when they helped you? And then you're doing all of this because your man made you mad, not them. They didn't do it to you. Makes no sense. Naya said all that mouth and then didn't do a damn thing to help. Naya, I was watching the show talking back at the TV, like, okay, so she did all this complaining, but then y'all know we just here to recap the episode. So when we get to the, later in the episode, we see Bria upstairs talking crap. I'm not doing a damn thing either. I'm not clean. I don't clean bathrooms. All he asked you to do was to Windex the mirrors and put some towels in there. Girlfriend, that is not cleaning the bathroom. I don't know what her idea of cleaning the bathroom is, but putting a new towel and just Windexing something, that's not cleaning the bathroom. When I clean my bathroom, there's bleach involved. Okay, I have to put on a mask. All right. And then I like to let stuff sit so I actually know that it disinfects. Yeah, I don't know. She really doesn't clean though. But I didn't understand why you felt the need to go talk to him crazy if you knew that you weren't going to do any of what he asked. Like Nick said, if you're not going to clean, girl, go upstairs. You don't have to do it. So that was funny. Jen Bunny says Simon is on bath salt. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube, y'all? Listen, my kinfolk, I love y'all. I know y'all gonna stick beside me, but isn't that stuff that white people do? I never met one African American person that's done bath salts. I'm just saying. But I did go to private school because the neighborhoods that I lived in probably would have had me end up in jail. So my parents put me in private school. And I will say that when we got to like middle school, a lot of the kids from the land of Caucasus, as they call it, they start getting on bath salts and what was another one? Huffing paint. Huffing paint. I couldn't believe it. I had some friends. I kicked it with them after school. I was like, I'm gonna do my big one. I'm getting to hang out with these kids. They must have pulled out some spray can paints. I called my dad to come get me. True story. True story. I said, what? Y'all go sniff it? They was putting themselves under a hoodie and just inhaling. I said, this can't be good for you. Huffing the paint. I cannot. I said he was ready to party. Yeah, I saw that once, Jen, with the huffing paint, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna go do like the kids in my neighborhood and find the swisher and the devil's grass, and y'all know the rest. I couldn't do it. She said they used to lick frogs back in the 70s. My husband's next to me, y'all. He's like, what? That sounds like something they would do in the 70s, though. Side note, it does. I feel like I should have been born in the 70s, but then I go back and forth with it. But I believe it. I believe it. Simon does give those he does give those vibes. Lord help us, Lord help us. Oh, moving on. We got to go into some stupid stuff, y'all. And I apologize. Like the video. Also, if you have not already, I greatly appreciate you. To my replay gang, I love y'all. I appreciate you for watching. It means the world. Jen is laughing at me. I am dying. Licking frogs. Lord help us. So, Nick, good old Nicky boy. I am so tired of him in these crop tops and his Fresh Prince hat. I am so tired of him in the coochie cutter shorts with a crop top in that hat. I am tired of Nick in that hat. I want to protest. Because the thing with it, I know James feels opposite, y'all, but Nick is not an unattractive man. It's the way he dresses. It's so bad. And I want him to do better. I just want him to do better. But he brings up to the group that he did not like it that no one came to support him at his event. Nick, how the hell are these people supposed to support you when you're running? The event was running, and we saw, she said, Nick, oh, stop. Nick is handsome. He's not a bad looking guy. He may not be like top tier, but I'm not going to say that he's terrible. He just, the way he dresses, I think his choice of haircut, there's a lot with him that just like turns me off personally. But I feel like if he changed his outfit, like I could tolerate him, if that makes sense. Um, but I don't understand how he feels that people should have supported him in his event. He didn't express the importance of it. Noel had a point. These people were up at 5 a.m. trying to calm Summer down. Just people was drunk, hung over. Y'all partied hard. Like they didn't come to your event. And then I don't know if anybody here has been to a 5K run. I have. Um, So, yes, there's a crowd that can watch you, but depending on where the run is, sometimes the crowd can only watch you at the beginning or the end of the race, right? We're not going to be running aside you. Okay. Now, if you're not a runner either, sometimes 5Ks can be difficult. These people was drinking. You got to sign up for them in advance as well. Sounds like Jim Buddy knows. It's not something you can usually just do at the last minute, especially here in the Bay Area. But like, come on now. It was harder. And from the camera footage, he literally was running through the vineyard, like through the trees and the grass and the brush. So I understand why it was important to Nick, but it's just like, Nick, if you want people to care or know to support you, then express it to them and then they'll know. So that's what I'll say on that. He then proceeds to give them a list of things to do, like a drill sergeant. And I didn't understand that. I felt like it was for the camera because if y'all peeped, they was already cleaning before Nick even came home or did anything. That's one thing I love about Black people on TV. This ain't gonna be a house looking like the Jersey Shore or some of them other shows. Listen, we're gonna clean up. It may be the next morning, but it's gonna get cleaned up. It will. Moving on. Um, Tasia's coming, Nick's girlfriend. I don't know why they're together. They just don't seem. I don't. I understand your dudes on TV and you expect like certain stuff that might make some people uncomfortable in traditional relationships, but like he's kissing on girls, was found in girls' DM last season, like doing the most. And the ladies last season didn't even know that he was in the relationship with Tasia. They was questioning her like, where that came from, like, and I don't know, it's just a lot. But Bria's upstairs talking her best, y'all. I don't understand why Bria's constantly talking crap. I want Bria to be quiet for like an episode. If I could get an episode with no Bria, I'd be satisfied because I'm tired, and Bria's too old to be acting like this as well. Bria needs to grow. So there's a lot that happened. So bear with me. It was kind of hard to take notes for all of this because these people were just going crazy. So Jordan confronts Summer about what she said about feeling as though everybody in the house is kind of clicked up and she feels like Preston and Summer are harder to be friends with. And they don't really go into it deeply. I feel like they edited out a lot of that conversation, which is fine. But I was kind of feeling Jordan, but then I stopped liking what Jordan did when she also went to Bria to talk about what Summer had did. And I'm like, you don't really need to be involved, but okay. Jim Bunny says, yes, she's too old, 31 going on 9. That's my age. Me and Bria are the same age, Jen. I would never. Something is wrong with her. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. It could be that Mercury moon. I don't know, but there's something wrong. Um, but yeah, Jordan goes and talks to both Bria and Summer about the things that happen. And I personally, you guys do not trust Jordan. I feel like she has a hidden agenda. I feel like she has caused a lot of the drama in the house in the background. I think that's part of the reason why Summer is melting because she's like, they're nice and you want me to be mean. I feel like that's happening in the background. but I could be wrong. And a reunion was confirmed. So I'm curious to see what happens at the reunion and what they say and how they'll go about it because they didn't get a reunion last season. So Tasia and all of Nick's guests arrived because he's having something called the Lux on the Bluffs. And now Summer decides she's not going to drink at this event. Girl, you should have been not drinking. You want to stop drinking at the end. You already went crazy. The damage is done. You may as well just have a good time and show that you can control how much you drink. But we see Mariah, who was a part of the cast last season. She comes into the house and she ends up pulling Amir aside. And when she pulls Amir aside, she mentions to him, who in their right mind would put the dog's laundry in with regular laundry? I was dying because Mariah, a lot of people sadly mix in their pet's laundry with their laundry. You're not supposed to do that, y'all. You just not. But some people do it because they're like, whatever, it all gets clean. And some people don't care about lint. If you don't want little fur hairs everywhere, you got to separate their laundry from yours, clean the lint trap, pray a prayer, and then clean the lint trap again. That's just what you have to do. Animals shed. This is exactly why I don't have a dog either. This is why I'm more of a cat person. They're less work. Um, I love dogs, but man, dogs with hair are always so much work, and I don't think people know until they get them. Moving on. Mariah says this to Amir because she's like, basically, she says, you're also a realtor and you understand home etiquette and things of this nature. And she alludes that Amir might have put the stuff in the laundry on purpose, saying that she doesn't think it's an accident. And she wanted him to understand basically that what he did, because last season he did that, allowed them to argue. And then after the fact, once the damage was done, then he was like, oh, it was me. And it's like, you could have said that and prevented this from happening. But instead, he pulls the woe is me, I'm going to look down on you moment. And it's like, well, regardless, I didn't cause you to react that way. You knew that these women had a lot of tension in a closed environment. You knew that these women had been beefing and looking for each other, looking for a reason not to like each other. You knew that this was your first season on a reality television show. You knew that the dog was the point of all of their problems. So you took laundry that didn't belong to you with a bunch of people that you didn't know, because Amir is the only person who is not connected to the group outside of the show. All of them know each other from going to college, working together, or through their spouses. Amir was the one odd man out. So you decided to do the laundry of women that you don't know. And you had to know that you're watching something that belongs to a pet with stuff that didn't belong to a pet. And you can't see that maybe you not saying that you understood and you were the one that did this and allowing Mariah to be blamed for it could cause a problem. Why you want to be a girl, Amir, and be involved in the issues of females, but then when you get caught up in it and you're finally addressed about it, you want to make it seem like Mariah's the wrong person. Now, I said in my recap, y'all, in season 1, I didn't like how Mariah moved. It seemed like she was moving like that girl who hasn't figured out that she's not in the hood no more. And I agreed with that. But at the same time, though people are responsible for their actions, it doesn't mean that people cannot be provoked, set up, all of those types of things. And Amir, in this instance, as he says it, unintentionally provoked that fight. So nobody told Mariah to smack Bria, but at the same time, come on now, Bria's mouth and Mariah's attitude, he had to know they would clash. So I agree. Look who's here. James is here. He said, I saw Amir coming a mile away. He did. Oh my God. He did see Amir. James has said from the beginning he don't like Amir. And he feels like basically like Amir, because he is half Black and was not raised around the African American side of his family, that he has a lot of stereotypes and negative connotations against African American people, which I see as well. And I feel like that's the reason why he flipped this on Mariah so easily. And I was glad that she sat there calmly and didn't let him get to her. But at the same time, that made me like, I'm pretty done with Amir. I'm pretty done with Amir. I just like him less and less and less, y'all, each episode. And he doesn't contribute anything. And I really do feel like he looks down on a lot of these people with the way that he's behaving. Like, something about it is off. But yes, Naya, I agree. She did hold him accountable. And sometimes, like, people got to understand you don't always have to holler and do what Summer did to make a point. You can do what Mariah did, come back and make the point. He may have felt like he won, trying to walk away and go gossip with the men. And I love how the men even dismissed it. The men moved oh so fast. They must have quoted Allen Iverson and basically told him, be quiet, you know, let's just have a good time. Nick was not here for it. He's worried about Tasia. So I was satisfied with that, y'all. But comment your opinions on Amir. I'm curious to see how people feel about him because he's like the one cast member nobody's really talking about. No shade. Amir and Preston and Shanice, no one's really ever talking about them. So let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all feel. But James was definitely right. Amir is the hot mess express, y'all. So in the kitchen, we did see Preston and Summer talk because, oh, I just realized James is back. Let's see.
Hi, hey everybody. Sorry, going through some personal things right now, so but I couldn't leave my girl hanging, y'all. Go ahead and continue, and I'll comment in just a second. Just go
Oh
ahead.
Lord, I didn't know how long he been here. I was like, let me get James on the screen. So he is here. Thank you for being here. Y'all, Preston talks to Summer in the kitchen because he hears that Summer has said that basically she feels like it's difficult to be his friend and Jordan's friend. He says he wanted to take a pause because of that. I hate that. Like, if you're friends with somebody and you need to take a pause, just tell them you need some space. I have a friend who sometimes get on my nerves, and I tell her sometimes, like, I need a pause, girl. I need a break. And it's okay to do that and talk to people, you know? Don't just take a pause because Preston seems like the type that'll just never talk to you again. I don't know why. And I don't trust that. Something about Preston gives me that, especially with him being an attorney. It's very easy for an attorney to be done with something, in my opinion. But I don't know. I didn't buy it. She explains, Summer explains herself to Preston and says that she values him and that she really just feels like they're not there for her sometimes, or like she's not able to have that lightheartedness and funness with them. Um, I don't know. It just seemed disingenuous. We got Preston and Jordan doing a confessional talking about they do include and care about Summer. I don't know. It all seemed disingenuous. I have a feeling either at the reunion or next season, they're not going to be as close as they are. And then they're going to act like it wasn't because of this, but it is because of this. And I don't want to deal with
I
that.
don't either. And see the thing, and this is my thing about this whole scene with Preston and Jordan. I just feel like she wasn't what y'all thought she was going to be, so y'all are icing her out. So all of this, this little vitriol y'all have against her is stupid at the end of the day. Now, Summer does inflict some of this on herself, so I can understand it. But at the same time, if that was really y'all friend, y'all would have saw about her the same way Noelle did. That's coming up in just a moment here. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I
They're just
agree.
weird. They're just weird to me. I feel like they are trying to ice her out in some kind of way.
It seems like what I see from Jordan, specifically Jordan, every time it seems like anyone she plans to ice out or have a problem with, whenever that goes or can't go the way it should, like finding out Jasmine's pregnant and seeing you're actually impacting her emotional health, then they're like, okay, let's back up, let's retreat, and then we'll come back. Like, I feel like Jordan is playing producer so hard and it's not working out for her in any way. And I hope that somebody on the cast, maybe they'll see this since they like to watch and call recappers. I hope somebody on the cast, maybe y'all need to stage a coup against Jordan and Preston because I can't stand them, either of them. I don't know why. Preston in that hat,
I,
I'm
I
sick
told
of
Bravo I would do it if they would just invite me on the show. I would go ahead and do it because I see them too. I just feel like for me, it's giving petty and it's giving like to me high school. Like it's
Yep.
given high school. It's Jordan would, I think personally, what Jordan thought coming on this show is that she was going to have rule over the entire house and thought she was going to be like this queen bee because we look at Jasmine as queen bee. We don't look at Jordan as queen bee. We don't. So I thought that she was going to get on. She thought she was gonna get on this show and just completely just flip and say, "Hey, I'm it. Y'all follow in line with me," and no one's doing that. So that's why she's causing friction between a lot of people. And it's
Yeah,
so him and her both, and it's so annoying because it was like, y'all are too old for this.
all
All
of
of
them. It's let's put Jim Bunny's comment back up there. 31 going on 9. Everybody on this cast is over 30. So and when you're over 30 and you're acting a certain way, it's just like, listen, we're not perfect in our 30s, but like I'm not a homeowner like I thought I would be. I'm supposed to be a homeowner with 4
you
kids.
ain't lying when I tell you 34 hit me, and I was like, dang, I have to start completely over as if I'm 22 again. Oh my god. Why can't and then what's crazy is when all of your friends have their stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like get out my face. All y'all get out my face. I mean, what did y'all do that I did so differently? I worked hard just like everybody else. Just that's just
Bless you.
life. Life sometimes will do that to you, but life is supposed to grow you at the same time, not keep you immature. And I think that that's the point here.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Absolutely.
just messy queens, both of them.
I'm dying. Nia said she thought new wig, new queen. That was funny. That was funny. I do like the short wigs on Jordan though. They're so cute. I think they look really good.
Not that one. That one was not cute at all. That
Damn.
one was very
Damn.
like it was very dated. It was given like your auntie at the church, not
She
the
got the
revival,
potato
but
salad.
the church anniversary where she, in the kitchen cooking the sides while they men outside barbecuing with the pat. It's given that because it didn't have no curl. It didn't have no to it. It just was
Not you wanted a
very
bump at the end of the wig. I'm so done
well.
with
I
you.
wanted something at the end of that wig because it was just hair, and I was just like, okay, well, is it gonna flip? Is it gonna do?
Listen,
Like, I
that's
think she should
why
keep short. I think she should keep a short cut too. But I feel like she should Fantasia it, where she throws some curls in there.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just
She's
something.
got a pretty face too, to where it will work. I will give Jordan that. I don't like the girl, but she's beautiful. So I give her that. Um, Speaking of wigs, y'all, there's a girl at the Lux on the Bluffs party that Nick is having who has a wig that is it looks the same as Jordan's wig, the one that she wear with the bangs and stuff. But it was not just a wig. They was dang near in the same outfit too, and they looked about the same height and weight and all of that. So Amir makes a comment about that at the party, like, "Oh my gosh, I thought that was Jordan." And Natalie gets bothered, and he pulls the thing that most simps do. What's wrong, babe? Oh, I didn't mean anything by it. Did that bother you? Oh no, honey, I don't want you upset. And I'm just, oh my God. Bro, because somebody looked like your roommate. She did look like that girl a little bit. If you look at it quick, when they showed it, I was like, oh no, they're definitely different and it's definitely different wigs. But just the glimpse, I was like, okay. But I'm like, Natalie, you get bothered when he's like, oh dang, I thought that was Jordan. It makes a joke, right? And you're so intimidated and bothered there, but you feel comfortable enough to be gossiping and in these people's business. Make it make sense. I don't understand this Natalie chick.
No, I understand her. I called that too.
You did.
I said exactly. She's exactly the girl version of Amir. She's exactly him. And see, and that's the problem. That's why he's coddling her and trying to play all, kissy flick, because that's what he wants someone to do with him. And she probably does, when they get into fights when it's her fault. But she pissed me off too because it was an honest mistake. Like he thought it was Jordan. I couldn't see who that was. All that hair, I couldn't see who that was. And I just want to ask Natalie a question. I know she probably not gonna see this, and I don't really care one way or the other. But Natalie, why did you bring your ass to this vacation? Why did you bring your ass on this vacation? I just want to know because you are given exact. And y'all, this is how exactly a lot of Miami women act when it comes to
Mm.
black women and black people just in general. They act exactly how she's acting. They think they're better. And when they get some imperfection or flaw about you, they're gonna spread it to the world saying, look, she ain't so perfect. Look, she ain't so cute. Look at what she got. She got this going on, this and this and that. And I know we about to get to it in a minute. That's what I'm holding, but I'm just like the shit she did at the end of the episode really did piss me off as well.
Oh
Listen,
no, it did. With that, that's gonna be the very last thing we talk about. That she Natalie so far is doing too much, and I think somebody in the comments said it. I think that she is trying to get on the show because that's the only value, in my opinion, that she sees within Amir.
I
Uh,
disagree. I don't think she's trying to get on the show. I think that she was supposed to be on somebody else. She gives me she was supposed to be on somebody else's show, and all they could give her was, "Oh, well, your friend, or you're with Amir, so you're just going to go on his show." She seems like she was doing something else. I feel like either she was trying to get on either Housewives of Miami. She's trying to do something because you could tell she wants to be on TV. That was obvious, but
yeah, she
it's
is way
very
too
weird.
comfortable in
But the
drama.
microaggressions are what throws me off about her. I don't think she wants to be on the show. I really don't. I think that she wants to be on a better show.
Well, because of the microaggressions that you feel are thrown out, if she doesn't want to be on this show with all these beautiful brown skinned people, I hope she stays on here as long as possibly humanly possible. And I hope they eat her ass up. I don't like this Natalie girl. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of what James is saying is probably the reason why. I'm not someone who's been to Miami. In the area I live in the Bay Area in California, you guys. It's incredibly diverse here. Similar to New York in that there's a every color is everywhere. So yeah, I don't really experience people like that too often. But I listen. Natalie gives bad energy. Naya says any press is good press to some people. That is very true. That is very true. That is very very true. Um,
It just
Anywho,
works
y'all.
differently in this equation because I agree with Naya's comment as well. But it works a little differently in this equation with her being the anomaly against all these
Mm,
people. It works
mm,
just a tad bit differently. This is not good publicity for her, even though she'll be forgiven because white women can be nonsensical in these situations and people are not going to see the flaw or anything wrong with her. But it won't be a good look as far as she'll probably never get to be on Bravo, but she can go somewhere else. Like we'll see her on E Network or something. What should I tell you?
mm. Lord, he said E Network or something. They would take her. And you know, E Network, I was looking for shows to recap. They really don't have nothing no more. It seemed like the Kardashians left and so did the network. Side note, moving it on along, you guys. Nick gives a speech at this event that was pretty moving. I felt this speech because I personally just lost a very close friend to me. And it's been just rocky. So I did feel his pain. He got me to tear up while watching it. And I do want to say condolences to him and condolences to the family of his friend. Um, but they get to the Starlin and step in. That is something that they do at HBCUs when you see them put on the performances and things like that. I've had the pleasure of seeing some of this in person just because my uncle pledged and he went to Clark Atlanta. Uh, I have a family in the South. It's likely somebody who knows somebody who went to an HBCU. So I appreciated the showing that because it is a very big part of Black culture, even for those people who did not pledge and who didn't go to HBCUs. I remember that was one of the reasons I wanted to go to an HBCU when I was younger. My brother went to Morehouse. He loved seeing it. So I love that they showed that on the show, just as a side note. Just as a side note. It was a
Yeah,
wonderful
I
thing.
liked it as well because when I was 18, I did not want to go to one because when I was that age, I had a very ignorant mindset, not in the standpoint of ignorance like what you would see. More so, I had a fear of black men mainly
Mm,
because of how much I was bullied by them. And sometimes black women too, depending on, who it was and what it was. But yeah, I had a natural fear of black men for a long time. So I didn't want to be around them because of that instance. It wasn't until I got older and started embracing who I was and realized it wasn't personal against me. Some are just bullied at home and have no
mm,
choice but to bully the kids that they see because of what's done to them, they're going to do to somebody else. And I didn't understand that at that age. So if I could do it all over again, which I still can do it now, but if I could do it all over again, I would have pushed for me to go to an HBCU, more so Howard than Morehouse, because I still want to go to DC. I still have that in my mind. But yeah, I wish I had that mindset to do that at a young age, but because of how I was raised and my experiences in high school, it caused me not to want to do that because I feel like if I was going to experience it in high school, I probably would have experienced it in college. And that was the most ignorant thing I could ever say or do. So I had to take accountability. I wish I was different then.
To defend you though, the people at our high school was I understand that. I definitely understand that. But yeah, so I just appreciate the show for showing that. They didn't just explain what it was, they explained some of the history behind it. Um, so what I will say to all the people who go to the HBCUs, the faculty at the HBCUs, all the students, I wish you all well. I appreciate what you're doing. You have all shined a light and are a positive beacon for Black people. And I really do respect it because y'all have done what I always wished I could do. And that's the beauty in HBCUs to me, even not going. It's just a big space of educated Black people. And I love it. I love it. I think it's fabulous. Fabulous. So I was grateful that they showed that. Good job. Bravo on that. But y'all still got some other things to figure out. Bravo. You ain't off the hook, NBC, because of this one show. But we didn't see Phil come into the party. He came in hella late. Speaking of Blackness, he came in on straight CP time. I didn't understand why Phil was so late. I also was surprised to see Phil come there because Phil pooped in Nick's toilet, and that is part of the reason why he was not welcome back in the house. But seems like they're open to have him at events. Men tend to move past things sometimes a little bit better. Um, During the party, Summer runs upstairs. I don't, why did it look like she ran into the bathroom or something? But she runs upstairs. She wants to, be, I guess, in some peace and quiet. You know what's funny, y'all? Just as a side note, it's always the loudest mofo that have the audacity to need some peace and quiet. We are at season 2, episode 7. This girl's been hollering since episode 1 of this season, and now she needs some peace and quiet. Girl, I go to sleep, Summer.
When
Because
I
they
tell you, girl, I said, girl, take you some Z-Quil and go to fuck to sleep. I know, I'm about to say, I know you not talking about nobody making noise, all that jumping up and down and flipping you was doing. I know you not talking about nobody making noise. It was crazy to me. I was like, I know this lady did not just say this.
she did. She did. It is always I actually know somebody like that from the neighborhood that I grew up in. And we love her to death. She don't harm nobody. But she get drunk and like to cry and tell you past memories of things that like you you already know or don't want to remember. Just like she said that once to me too. I just want a quiet night, girl. You are the loudness, don't you know? But it's always that. Moving on, you guys. We did see Simon. I'm looking at these notes. That's crazy. How we went from strolling and stepping in the beauty of HBCUs to this man Simon coming downstairs dressed as a pink flamingo. I can't believe I got to say all these things. So, oh Lord, help us. Naya said she was tired from carrying on. Listen, yes, precisely, Naya. So Simon comes downstairs in a pink flamingo suit. Nick basically has already explained and given the speech of how, 5 is the number of his angel who's watching him, his friend, and all of those things. He's explained the importance of this evening. He's obviously put into a great, effort into it. And Simon coming down in a pink flamingo outfit steals the show a little bit. But this is the difference between listen, culturally, there are differences in how people party. I'm not going to go through an anthropology, psych, or history lesson, but it's a fact. Now, in African American culture, we may not be the type to come in a pink flamingo outfit to an event that is meant to be luxe. Uh, just like the Freaknik event, people dressed appropriately. Bria's event at the petting zoo, they dressed appropriately. This was not the time for Simon to come down in the pink flamingo outfit, but I will say it was funny. The outfit was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I would party with Simon in Vegas. I would just have to have like somebody sober watching us because he's the type to have you end up in a situation like The Hangover, and I don't want that. But Bria loses it. And I can't help but laugh because she says, no, Simon, I'm going to take a knife and stab the flamingo down. I said, excuse me? She said she is going to take a knife and stab the flamingo down. I said, Bria, why are you so angry? What do you mean stab the flamingo down? What the hell is going on? So Nick is bothered, and we see Tasia. You're smiling, you're happy, you're smiling. They not gonna make it, that couple. Because if that's how you calm your man down, that's not always gonna work, Tasia. That's all I'm gonna say. So Bria is begging Simon to come upstairs. And in the midst of Simon walking toward her to talk, she grabs the flamingo by the neck. Okay, James, I'm trying. She grabs
You got to keep going because it was ignorant and stupid.
I couldn't believe that this is the behavior I'm seeing from adults. They're all over 30. Bria grabs the flamingo by the neck, and Simon takes off the flamingo. When he took off the flamingo, apparently he passed gas, had some flatulence, because people were like, "Oh my God, it's awful. That has to be coming from Simon." I said, "Oh Lord, Lord help us." I'm gonna agree with Naya here. Naya agreed and said for once she was absolutely right. Her overreacting did not help, but she did explain multiple times that it wasn't appropriate. She did. This time,
I think he's coming from the standpoint, this is, we supposed to be on vacation party. We're not supposed to bring that kind of energy to this energy. And it's hard because yes, like Naya said, he got drunk, gassy, and full of himself. Yeah. And that's really what it is. He's full of himself. But once again, they allowed that energy to exist when they started accepting all those watches and gifts and stuff that he was bringing to
yeah,
the house.
yeah.
So, what is he
He
supposed
thinks
to do
he
now?
can do whatever he wants to do because he done paid to do what he wants to do. That's why you have to be careful not to accept gifts from everybody. It's okay to say no sometimes. But yeah, I agree. Bria was right. The cameras did show her talking to him about this event. What they didn't show was her saying, like, this is important to him because of this. But he was there. He was able to hear it. He got white boy raced it. And I think he just wanted to be the center of attention. But he took off the flamingo neck after Bria yanked it, and then he goes back to the kitchen to get more Grey Goose. And he is not, his cup was orange, y'all, but he filled up that champagne glass because I got DVR and I wanted to look. Simon was filling up champagne glasses, flutes, whatever you should call them, and then putting like a drop of orange juice, just enough to change the color. Like he was drinking, he was drinking. It makes no sense. And I'm surprised he was able to get that drunk because before the event started, he was asleep outside on the deck, just outside, sleep in front of a bottle of tequila. So Simon get parties hard, but he definitely should not have done that or stole the moment from Nick. Just wasn't the event. But I mean, they're in a house. He's probably like, I'm drunk. I'm in a house. I'm on the vineyard, whatever. So to end the show, y'all, all the spouses get together. The spouses being, what is Preston's Donald? I like Donald. I love
Yes.
Donald. I have nothing bad to say about Donald. But Donald, who's the other one? Tasia and Natalie, because so she's going off on Simon and all of this. They are gossiping together. And I'm just looking like, okay, Natalie, you're gossiping some more at the end of this doggone episode. And she's gossiping about what's going on, Bria, all of that. And I'm cracking up because downstairs you see a bunch of people doing the electric slide. Meanwhile, we moving on upstairs. You see Bria trying to dump Simon because he does not listen. And she feels like he took away from Nick. I'm not even gonna get into all of that. I'm asked James's opinion. I personally feel like this time Bria was within her right. The problem is I think that they were all too drunk to communicate by that time. I would be embarrassed as hell too if my white boyfriend, who is much older than me, comes downstairs in a pink flamingo outfit, twerking.
Absolutely. I would
Yeah.
be embarrassed as well because what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Why
And
are you
why are
doing
you
it?
doing yeah, and why are you doing this? Does this look like the type of environment? Did I tell you to go upstairs and put on that shit and come down here?
What they teach us
Like,
in elementary, learning grammar,
right.
what, when, where, why, and how.
Like, and then the fact of the matter is, then your ass gonna fart in front of all these people and
And
embarrass
it
me,
lingered.
and it lingered. And see, and just ignorant, just ignorant. And see, that would make me go, okay, you can't come here no more. You can't come here no more. Nope. I'm not dealing with you. I'm not dealing with this. You
Why
got
you
to
sound like the uncle when you got your nephews coming over, you let their friends use the space until it's that one that you can't come here no more, okay? James said, "You can't come here no more.
and you
Go
know it's
home."
funny, Naya, that comment, Naya's comment, she's not gonna break up with him because that's
She's
the
not.
money. That's the
Yeah.
money. She would be a fool to break up with this man and leave that lifestyle behind because as soon as she break up with him, it's gonna be some old ooga booga that's gonna jump right in them DMs that's gonna get to him. So yes.
Naya
So
said, "Ain't gonna threaten me with a good time. Bye, bitch. The dog too."
right, go on, get up out of here. But she's not gonna. Let me tell you, Bria's not gonna leave Simon until she finds something that has more money than he does.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Bria will hang in there too with this show, hoping that she can get paid more someday. I don't know. She not going nowhere. They got to be getting paid like like the housewives. And even then, I feel like she would need more knowing Bria. She just seems like the type to keep a plan in her back pocket. But she did threaten to break up with him a bunch. We'll see where the hell it goes. I feel like Bria and Simon do this a lot too. I feel like they travel the world together, getting drunk, getting lit, and threatening to leave each other. I just because
I could see that too. I could see that
I
as
don't
well.
see them discuss anything. There's no substance to that relationship from what we can see. And I'm not
That's
saying we
because
have to see everything, but
that's because it's transactional. That's what people have to understand. That relationship is completely transactional. So and she can play all she wants to that she's really into him and all this and this fuck shit. But we know damn well that this relationship is transactional. Y'all, come on. I mean, I'm not saying he ugly or anything, but come on. Well, I
yeah,
know what this is.
listen, you spoke it. So we're gonna leave it there, y'all. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, all the people who are here watching to the live replay game, the people watching when we're no longer live. Hi, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching. If you haven't already, please like the video. The next live I'm going to do is going to be the Housewives of New Jersey. I am a super fan. When I tell y'all I am a super fan, I'm a super fan of New Jersey. So I'm very excited to recap it. I'm also excited to see what James has to say because he's not really into New Jersey like that.
I
So I
am
always like
not.
seeing different opinions on it.
I am not, and I can't wait to share it. So I will see you in the next recap, guys. Sorry I was late, had to deal with some things, but I am back. And we're
Listen, he
gonna
the
try to get
co-host.
through
He could show up when he feel like it, blood.
them. All right, I'll see you in the next review.
Love you all. Thug life. I will see you soon. Adios.